Silly me. I actually thought this was the year that the Lakers were committed to managing LeBron's minutes. Instead, are you ready for this? For any player who played at least 70 games, LeBron James at age 39 in year 21 averaged the most minutes per game in the NBA. That's 35.3 per game. That includes 41 Friday night in Memphis and another 38 yesterday in New Orleans. Good Lord. So, Allie, is LeBron playing that many minutes good news or bad news for the Lakers going forward?
Given his health, the way he feels, what he said yesterday after that game in New Orleans, that's a great sign. That's great news. I think, obviously, you just read those numbers, those stats, 35 a game. Like I mentioned earlier, 16th most in the NBA. For a guy that's 39 years old in season 21, it's very impressive. It's also the fourth fewest of his career. I thought it was interesting, of course, that we're having this conversation here at the end of the season when going back to that first game in Denver, a lot of talk was about managing his minutes. But I think the body of work this season alone, the way in which LeBron, his right-hand man, who's been with him his entire career, Mike Mancias, has continued around the clock to invest in the body mentally and physically, has put him in the position that he's in now. I loved hearing that he's feeling in a much better space this time around going into the postseason versus that of last year. But I think it is worth noting that LeBron has spent half of his career in the NBA Finals. And having said that, it's not his first rodeo. This is not foreign territory for him. This is not a place he hasn't been before. Yes, down the stretch at times, would you have liked possibly him to not have to give so much, play so many minutes? Case in point, maybe against Memphis the other night, right, on the road. Sure, but it wasn't in the cards. It's par for the course, though, at this point of the season. This is something I've been covering him now for a decade. He ramps up. This is getting himself in the right shape, in the right mental space to handle a game like yesterday that came down to 82, game 82. To be in that position, to come out and fire on all cylinders, be as connected, in tune with his body, it has been impressive. There's no concern for me when it comes to LeBron James, which, hey, again, season 21 at the age of 39, kudos to him.
See, I think that's one of the main problems, Allie, is that season 21, age 39, that's where the focus is, not the focus on the fact that the man said he feels better than he's felt in quite some time. That's not the focus. The focus is his age and his years, because we've never seen somebody do this, right? And so now when you look at LeBron James, much like you said, veteran players, they know how to go through a course of a season, whether it's 35 minutes or not. Is it on both ends of the floor? Is he really playing 35? Like last night, he had to guard and shut down Zion. Now, that wasn't the entire game, but it was enough energy given to Zion as part of that 35-plus minutes that he played.
I agree.
That wasn't the course of the 82 or the 71 games he played in.
Right.
There's no way. Even the youngest players in the NBA know how to gauge their minutes and how to play on both ends of the floor. So I look to LeBron, I say, now that we're going into play-in, playoff territory, that what you saw last night, you're going to see again tomorrow night, and then you're going to see it against the Nuggets, where in the past that wasn't the case. But he knows now the importance of this is it. This is the final. Like you said, I know how to ramp up when I need to ramp up, regardless of what the minutes look like. That's why he feels the way he feels. I'm 100% all with it. He could have played 40 minutes on an average every single night. I would say the same thing, because he says I'm okay. He didn't give you the, well, I'm real tired. My feet are hurting. I don't know what's wrong with my ankle. No, he said, I'm good.
This is a guy that I've kind of thought about this too. There was at one point during those years in Cleveland where I believe he made the comment of, as much as we wake up every morning searching, looking, loving for that glass of coffee, for that cup of coffee, that's him to working out. That's him to fitness. That's him to taking care of his body. This is a guy that's obsessed with the ins and outs and the discipline of being available for his team night in and night out. This isn't a burden for him. This isn't, we need you. This is a get-to mentality from LeBron James, who continues to prove doubters, naysayers wrong, that he can't do this, he can't do that. And I just think, again, 71 games alone. I know we continue to say it at 39, season 21, but that's the reality. It hasn't been done before.
No, it hasn't been done, so we're going to talk about it all the time, but he's doing it right before our eyes.
He is.
So that automatically tells me he's fine. He's fine.
It's fine.
I appreciate that Allie brought up Mike Mancias because we don't enough. But he has been to LeBron what the great Tim Grover was to Michael Jordan. And by the way, Mike Mancias is a protege of Tim Grover. So he has training genius about him, and LeBron completely, obviously, trusts him. And he has turned LeBron this year into 39 going on 29, because when I watch him, he looks like he's 29. His body looks like it's 29, the spring in his step. I know he can't get up quite the way he used to get up, but hey, Keyshawn, on a nightly basis, his basket attacks are just breathtaking, where there's nobody who can keep him from the rim. He can play bully ball with the best of them at the biggest moments when he so chooses. So does he have to pick his spots on defense? Sure he does. But I'm good with this. Look, the point is, players play. When you're a player, you just want to play basketball. And I think he had a blast on Friday night in Memphis.
Yep.
And I can say, yeah, but that wasn't real smart, because you could have cut that back a little. That was a G League team. They had nobody left out there. But he got into it at the end of the game, and he took the game over in the last, I don't know, 2-3 minutes.
But if we don't beat Memphis,
it was a big win. It was a big win.
Yeah, then all of a sudden we sitting where at the 10th seed?
You could be. Yeah. You could be playing
we would rather
Sacramento
be at
or
8 than 10.
Yeah, no, I got it. And it did turn out to be, because I wasn't sure they could go win at New Orleans, because New Orleans had just won at Golden State the other night. Okay, so he did that. But you know how I felt about Jordan. I keep telling you, 9 times he played all 82 games, and nobody ever talked about it. Again,
because that wasn't the conversation back then.
Nobody had that conversation.
Yeah, it wasn't a conversation.
And there was a 10th time that he played 81 games, and there was an 11th time that he played 80 games.
Austin Reeves played all 82 this year, too. I didn't realize that.
83.
Oh, 83, yeah, if you count the play-in, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not the play-in,
the in-season tournament.
The in-season tournament.
Okay.
He played 83. Nobody mentioned it.
Okay, but he's still a baby in NBA.
No, I understand.
We mentioned it. Huh? We mentioned it, that he played all 83 on our show yesterday. That spectrum that you got. Having said that, the 83 games played by Austin Reeves, just to kind of think about how different it has become. We had this graphic that we looked at. He's the first Laker to do it since KCP in 2018-19. Derek Fisher was on our set yesterday, and he was a part of 5 guys that did it back in 2010, 2011.
There you go, right?
It's just a different.
Okay. So remember, a year ago, LeBron had some kind of foot tendon injury that was plaguing him. And I'm pretty sure that went away. I'm pretty sure that's not a problem. The ankles are chronic, and they're always going to be some kind of problem. You don't want it to turn badly in a game and become an issue again. But it seems like he's managed his ankles to where they're kind of at a low roar right now, where they're not a nightly issue for him. The way, because he missed some games with ankles, right? Because I think he's always going to have some ankle.
But even when you count the 71 games and then the games that he's missed, some of that is rest. Yep. Some of it is just rest.
I think it goes back to that formula, the game plan at the start of the season, where they started out wanting to manage the minutes. Obviously, that went out the window. But this is something, again, as we've talked about, he's been with his guy, Mike Mancias, for a very long time. You sit down, you kind of survey the schedule, whatever that looks like, and find ways in which you can take those opportunities to, whether you push forward or you take a step back. It's not always something that he wants to do per se, right? But looking at this season in totality, they've handled it to this point exceptional. Okay.
Now, what is your level of concern about tomorrow night? Just rinse and repeat. Again, it was a wipeout. Does that concern you at all?
I think you're going to get a completely different approach from the New Orleans Pelicans. Down the stretch, they had been playing much better basketball. To your point. Yes, defensively top 10. The way in which they've shot the ball. C.J. McCollum has just been so vintage-esque, if you will. Zion has had his way. Trey Murphy, the third, obviously, has made an imprint. You got to factor in Brandon Ingram coming back for the first time yesterday on a minutes restriction, but you know what he's capable of.
Well, he shot the ball okay. He was 6 out of 9, but it seemed out of rhythm.
Rotations and rhythm, et cetera. Yeah. It took Willie Green 3 minutes in the postgame to say everything he needed to say. They came out, they punched us in the mouth. They were the aggressors. That has to change. And I expect that to be the case tomorrow. Am I confident the Lakers can get the job done?
Yes, you are.
Absolutely. Yes, I am. But I think it's going to be a different game.
Yeah.
Is Keyshawn overconfident the Lakers can get it done? Yes, he
No,
is
I'm not.
overconfident. Yes.
Dude, I have LeBron on my team.
Yeah, I just.
Got to have in your pocket.
I told you before, this will feel like a Lakers home game because somehow the Lakers fans in New Orleans just take the arena over. But
Laker fans travel everywhere.
they do. But this will be big.
I'm
but
not
it's going to be
overconfident,
purple
kid.
and gold. But I think you are a little
No, I'm not.
overconfident
No, I'm
because
not.
I think this is going to be a battle.
When was the last time
Yeah.
you seen a LeBron James team? Now, don't count the Western Conference Finals, but when was the last time you seen LeBron James team just like, we in this position in a one and done and we going home?
That was the last time the Western
No,
Conference
but they
Finals.
got swept. I mean, they couldn't. He just certain championship players, and I'll tell you this over and over, Skip, they not gonna let it happen. Now they may get to Denver and get shellacked again, but I doubt that they get sent home in the play-in. I doubt it.
Okay, you know that you do have in your back pocket
The
a
extra
second
game.
chance.
Yeah,
If
we don't
you-
want that
if you
though.
need it.
Yeah, we don't want that.
It would be here against the winner of Golden State Sacramento. I assume it'd be Golden State.
Yeah, we don't
That's
want
what
that.
I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, but we don't want that.
Okay, you could draw then Oklahoma City in the first round if you go that route.
Yeah, but that's not the route we're going.
Yeah.
Why take that chance?
Okay, so you want Denver right here, right now.
Yeah, why take
Okay.
the chance of being the 8th seed?
Well, it would
just to
be a
go,
chance.
See, OKC, you mess around and you lose to the Pelicans, and then you lose to Golden State. You going home? You're gonna be Cancun or wherever the hell they going. Cabo.
There's these things called basketball gods that we just don't mess with.
Yeah,
I'll
that
play
is
that
true.
game.
Hey, thank you for coming in.
you guys
We'll be
for having me.
watching.
Plus, LeBron in the 8th seed, he'd be the first to ever.
No. No. Okay, we got to get back to the Eastern Conference with Rick Bucher. Are the Bucks about to be a first-round